Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. And I believe the previous stream got interrupted or something. So I'm sorry about that. Here we are. Now I want to be clear, something monumental, something groundbreaking at the moment I'm recording this has not happened yet, but it is about to happen. Now, the reason I say that is you'll see this tweet on your screen from the President of the United States that there's good news on the COVID relief bill, information to follow. And I made a prediction in the previous video in case you missed the previous video. And here is what I think is likely to happen. I think that the president must have had some sort of an assurance. Now, keep in mind that lawmakers like Republicans and congressmen and congresswomen, they can't give guarantees. No one can guarantee an outcome. But it is possible that the president received some sort of an assurance, a promise, a commitment about about this $2,000 stimulus check. Now, let's try and analyze how the $2,000 stimulus check can actually happen. Step one, it has to pass the House. Okay. Step two, it has to pass the Senate. Step one and two don't necessarily have to happen in the same order, but the important thing is that that amendment, that enactment has to pass both the House and the Senate, and then the president signs it and it becomes law. Now, it is quite likely that the president got an assurance, some sort of a commitment from someone. And by the way, who is that someone? That someone is the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, because we know that House Speaker Pelosi has said, "Yup, let's do it." But guess what? If the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell does not bring this to the floor of the Senate for a vote, the $2,000 stimulus checks ain't happening. In any deal, there is a good scenario and a bad scenario. But the way this is shaping up, at least for the president, is heads I win, tails I don't lose. Now, why do I say that? I say that because if the president has gotten an assurance from the Senate that they will bring the $2,000 stimulus checks to the floor of the Senate, on the floor of the Senate for a vote, the president can essentially make an announcement and say, I'm being the good guy. I'm signing the $900 billion stimulus package so the unemployment can continue, so the eviction moratorium is extended, so the $600 stimulus checks go out. And I've got a commitment from and I've gotten assurance that the $2,000 stimulus checks will happen. Now, I want to be clear, there is no such thing as a guarantee in Congress. What's the one thing you know about politicians? What is the one thing you know about politicians? They change their mind. There's no guarantee. So this is a rather interesting situation where the president can essentially be the hero who championed the cause of the American people, or at least make it seem that way. Guys, politics is about psychology. It is about perception. Life is about psychology and perception. And President Trump has said this openly in the past, that the psychology of things matters a lot. He's actually said this. If you want, just go ahead and Google Donald Trump talking about psychology. Go ahead and Google that. The psychology of this situation is that the president wants to, be the champion of the people, and at the same time, he's probably going to sign the $900 billion bill. I did do another video on our channel a couple days ago where I talked about factors that will force the president's hand, and it does look like we are in a situation now where the president could end up signing the package, because he said that. In fact, let's take a look at the president's tweet on your screen. The president said, "Good news on COVID relief bill, information to follow." Now, let's also examine some of the underlying motivations and where things could be right now. And let's take a look at some tweets from Jake Sherman over at Politico, and let's take a look at some of his comments. And by the way, I talked about this in a previous video. Let's dig deeper into what Jake Sherman from Politico is saying. I don't know exactly what Trump is going to say on COVID relief, but I've observed these types of negotiations. Here's what I'd guess happens. What is the one thing the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell can give Trump? And that one thing is a vote on the $2,000 check bill on the floor of the Senate once it passes the House. Once again, I do want to emphasize, this is going to be voted on the floor of the House tomorrow, and it is, I repeat, it is going to pass the House. But the important thing is just going to get a vote on the floor of the Senate. So let's get back to the tweet here. Jake continues, that way, President Trump can work the bill, meaning talk to senators, pick up the phone, call Republican senators. By the way, the president is also going to be campaigning for Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue, the two incumbents, the two Republican incumbent senators in Georgia. So he's probably going to try and, help the Republicans retain control of the Senate and, in a way, make the $2,000 stimulus check vote, in a way, tied into the Republicans' control of the Senate, which, by the way, creates a dilemma for Republicans who don't want to waste money, but at the same time they realize that if they go along with the president's I don't want to use the word gambit because gambit sounds like it's flipping a coin, but they want to go ahead with the president's calculation that giving the $2,000 stimulus checks, which the president can say was his idea, if the Republicans compromise on their fiscal conservativeness, let's just put it that way, and if the presidents go along with President Trump's push for the $2,000 stimulus check, right? And by the way, the president gets to take credit for the fact that the $2,000 stimulus check was his idea. Okay, let's be clear. The president can get to essentially keep his promise, which he's been saying all along. I want large stimulus checks. I want something that is larger than even what the Democrats want. If the president can get that, the president can say, I came through for the American people. That's super important. The president can then also say, hey, I was the one who got this done. Even the Democrats couldn't do that. And the president can wrap all of that into a push and rallies in Georgia and help Republicans retain control of the Senate. This is the high level political game that's going on, because if the Republicans retain control of the Senate and the $2,000 stimulus checks go out, by the way, this now creates a can of worms, because the Republicans will be like, well, wait a minute, $600 stimulus checks are going out, so we're only going to send out $1,400 stimulus checks. So all of those shenanigans are going to indeed take place. So you can definitely expect those kinds of shenanigans to begin next week. But again, ask yourself, what is the political calculation for Speaker Pelosi? Speaker Pelosi will simply say, I wanted $2,000 stimulus checks all along and I'm voting for it. Now it's up to you, Mitch. Go for it, bro. I'm pretty confident that the House Speaker does not call Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell bro. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see House Speaker Pelosi put her hands on Mitch McConnell's shoulder and say, what's up, bro? I don't think that's going to happen. And then the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying, yeah, baby. Not going to happen. So what's likely to happen here is the calculation for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is going to be that the Democrats are in favor of the $2,000 stimulus checks. And that's what House Speaker Pelosi is going to say. The president is going to say, I'm the one who got bigger stimulus checks, and I'm the one who did something even better than the Democrats. And we need to win the two Senate seats in Georgia. That's what the president is going to say, because the president is going to take that calculation, if you will, and try to help Republicans retain control of the Senate. If the president can help Republicans retain control of the Senate on the 5th of January, which I believe is a week from next Tuesday. I have to look at the calendar, the 5th of January. I believe it's a week from next Tuesday. And the president can succeed in sending out $2,000 stimulus checks. This now creates, this allows the president to essentially ride off into the sunset and sets up a whole host of options for him in the future. The Democrats, if they pass the $2,000 stimulus checks in the House, will use that to win the two Senate seats in Georgia by saying, we were the ones who passed it, the Republicans said no. And the most unfortunate position right now, well, unfortunate's the wrong word, the most complex position, the most challenging position, the person who's boxed in completely, and the person who's essentially in a checkmate situation right now is, can you guess? The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. If he has committed to the president that he's going to bring the $2,000 stimulus checks on to the floor of the Senate for a vote, that could be the deal that they've worked out. See, we don't know. We're going to wait for the president to make an announcement. Let's get back to the tweets from Jake Sherman. Trump can work the bill and get the. By the way, if this goes to the on the if the 2,000 stimulus checks go for a vote on the floor of the Senate, then the president can maybe start calling Republican senators and saying, "I need you to sign this, and we will win Georgia." That is possible. That is possible, guys. That is possible. That could be the calculation here. And by the way, will enough Republicans get on board to support the $2,000 stimulus checks? I would venture to say that that's very unlikely, unless the president is able to convince them to get enough votes. And also, this goes against pretty much everything. The $2,000 stimulus checks pretty much go against everything the Republicans stand for. I just want to be clear. So there's this small aspect of fiscal philosophy, financial philosophy, economic policy. It's a very small matter, very small matter. It's a small matter of ideology that is now going to clash. But guess what? That is the way this president works. So that is what's going on right now. Let's get back to the tweets here. President Trump may have gotten a commitment from the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. We're waiting. I want to be clear. We are waiting for an official announcement from the president. But if the president may have gotten a commitment from the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, and in exchange, the president will sign the bill, the House $2,000 bill, which by the way is going to be passed by the House tomorrow, mandates that it only takes effect when President Trump signs a larger package. Now, this by the way, is a very interesting thing that is happening with what Speaker Pelosi has done. I'm actually going to show you folks what Speaker Pelosi did and what the Democrats did. They've actually included some language that makes it contingent. That they will do the $2,000. So check this out. The $2,000 stimulus check that the House is trying to pass tomorrow is written to only take effect if the president signs the larger package he's sitting on right now. So again, let's get back to the president's calculation. The president's calculation is that I sign the larger package. I sign the $900 billion package. I get them. I'll get them, and I'll get them to go ahead and vote for the $2,000 stimulus checks. And guys, as I'm talking, I think we have had some. By the way, before I go forward, let me go back to the tweet here and show you that the way the $2,000 check proposal is written is that the amendments made by this subsection, meaning the $2,000 stimulus check, are contingent upon the enactment of the COVID-related Tax Relief Act of 2020 and shall apply, if at all, as if included in the enactment, meaning the $2,000 stimulus checks will now become part of the original bill. And if all of this happens super quickly, we may end up not getting $600, but directly getting $2,000. Okay, so that is actually what's happening right now, everybody. By the way, I don't know if you saw my video earlier. I said that if the president does make an announcement and sign the bill, I'll drink this can of soda. I have not touched it. I promise. It's still there. That's one of the reasons the president should sign the bill. Okay. All right. So, guys, I have breaking news for you, and this is breaking news for you. You heard it first here. The Washington Post has just reported that the president has indicated he will sign the stimulus bill into law and he will avert a shutdown. This has just been reported by the Washington Post, everybody. I'm still not going to drink this soda. Guys, there are two reasons why the president should sign the stimulus bill. One is to help all our fellow Americans avoid evictions, get unemployment benefits, get stimulus checks. And the second is that a 42-year-old guy on YouTube can drink a can of soda because he made a promise that he will only drink this when when the president signs it. But guys, jokes aside, new reporting from the Washington Post has indicated that the president will sign the stimulus check and government spending bill into law, averting the shutdown. The president has demanded changes to the stimulus bill, but today he has signaled that he will sign the stimulus bill after all. And there were individuals, hold on. The president has indicated to congressional leaders, I can confirm to you that the president has indicated to congressional leaders that he will sign the bill. And the president did tweet, like I mentioned earlier, that there's good news on this bill. And let's see, I'm trying to see if I have some other important breaking news for you folks. The bill has to be signed into law, otherwise we could see a whole host of problems. And keep in mind that Pat Toomey did say that I don't think he did say that I think the best thing the president can do is sign this and make a case for subsequent legislation. Bernie Sanders said it is insane. It's really insane. So it looks like there was a lot of pressure, and the president has indicated that he's likely. This was just reported, everybody, by the Washington Post. I can confirm that this was just reported by the Washington Post that the president is likely to has indicated to congressional leaders that he will sign the bill averting a shutdown. I want to give our viewers and subscribers a sense of all the pressure. I want to give our viewers and subscribers a sense of all the pressure that the president was facing up until this point, everybody. So let me actually show you folks something that'll hold on, not this video, hold on just one moment, folks. So I want to give you folks a sense of all the pressure that the president was actually facing, and I think this might give you an idea about what could potentially have changed the president's mind. Let's take a look at some things that the president comments from Democrats and Republicans and independents. Super important. Let's take a look at this and try to understand what has been going on over the past 24 hours. And I think you'll understand as you see this segment that a lot of people were coming out and saying, President, don't do this, Mr. President. Don't do this, Mr. President. Let's roll the tape and you can see for yourself.
Do you worry we're heading for a government shutdown, sir?
I really don't know. I think the president has not actually explicitly said he's going to veto this bill. I take that as a hopeful sign.
What the president is doing right now is unbelievably cruel. Many millions of people are losing their extended unemployment benefits. They're going to be evicted from their apartments because the eviction moratorium is ending. And this president is diddling around, and he may actually veto it.
For 8 months, we've been trying to get a stimulus package through. Some really bipartisan folks on both sides of the aisle brought everybody to the table. They reached an agreement. Secretary Mnuchin worked together with them and made commitments on behalf of the administration. But after it was passed, then the president raises these objections.
None of us totally like the bill, but we passed it because this was the agreed upon number. It's what the president negotiated. And then for him to come out and say, now I'm going to veto it for the $2,000 checks, fine. If you want to make it $2,000 checks, negotiate that from the beginning. But to play this old switcheroo game, which is just kind of like, I don't get the point. I don't understand what's being done.
He's posturing to make himself, to bring himself back as the hero of the American people, asking for $2,000.
Sign this and then make the case for subsequent legislation.
Sign the bill. Get some relief to people. We have hundreds of thousands of people in my state who are at risk of losing their benefits today.
Let's sign this bill now so we can start getting our unemployment benefits out right away and then quickly pass another bill.
Sign the bill, Mr. President, and then immediately, Monday, Tuesday, we can pass a $2,000 direct payment for the working families of this country.
And if he really believes that we should get up to $2,000, which I have firmly believed for a long time, he should get back to Washington, D.C. and get that piece done as well.
I agree with the $2,000. It needs to at least be $2,000. So he needs to talk to his Republican buddies and say, give the people the money. Come on, Mitch, where is the money? Do that now. But instead, he's too busy worried about making sure that his friends get off. We should be looking at cutting that Pentagon budget by 10% like it has been proposed to make sure that our veterans get the resources and our communities get the resources they need. That's what he should be doing right now. Not worried about Twitter.
Something else, and I had actually I actually did this video a few days ago, where I said this will force the president's hand on stimulus. Small businesses are shutting down, unemployment benefits are about to expire, the eviction crisis is looming, many states are struggling financially. So I had indicated that I thought there was a very high possibility that this could indeed be passed. But again, folks, it does look like that this could happen. Michelle Evermore, who's an unemployment benefits expert, reported is saying that this could have happened yesterday and not cost 14 million individuals a week of benefits and all UI recipients $300. Now, keep in mind, if the president signs the bill today, I want our viewers and subscribers to know that if the president signs the bill today, the enactment of the bill comes next week, which means that yesterday, all these programs essentially got turned off. After the bill is enacted, the program is then turned on, which would mean that a week is lost. If the president had signed the bill yesterday, again, if the president had signed the bill yesterday, those programs would not have been turned off and would simply have been extended for 11 weeks. Now, I do want to be clear. There has been some reporting from Washington State that they'll be able to do something for their citizens. So let's see if states are actually able to turn to somehow work with this thing. But let's just hope that individuals don't lose their benefits. So we are looking at a situation where the president could sign it. All indications are the president is indeed going to sign the stimulus checks. I did talk earlier about the political calculations that that if the president signs the stimulus checks in exchange for an assurance that the senators, the Senate brings a $2,000 checks for a vote on the floor of the Senate, we could see a situation where Senate Republicans go on the record for the $2,000 check bill. And I haven't seen a lot of Republican senators say, yeah, let's do $2,000 checks. So that's going to be another area of contention. We also have to see if the president can actually get 60 votes for it, as reported by Jake Sherman from Politico. The agreement is probably something along these lines, and I did mention this earlier. I mentioned this because this was my own analysis, and now I've seen Jake Sherman's comments, and they seem to be consistent with what I was saying. The president would sign the package in exchange for a vote on the $2,000 bill. Now, president does need to sign it. There's a lot at stake. Most presidents, will not put their parties in a situation where the parties have to go against their own philosophies, against their own fundamental ideologies. But guess what? This is not. President Trump is certainly not most presidents. So again, this creates a situation. Let's get back here. That way, the president, can essentially get what he wants. And I did mention those calculations earlier. But again, this does. Let's be clear. This does put the Republicans in a difficult situation. But we are waiting for the official announcement to come in, everybody. And at the moment, it does seem like the president has indicated he's willing to sign the bill. Now, I want to be clear. We only know for sure that it's going to happen once we hear from the president. But I'm not going to be surprised if the president does indeed indicate that he has signed the bill at some point in time. Guys, I had mentioned a few days ago that something would force the president's hand. But the president essentially put himself in a situation where he had to get $2,000 stimulus checks, or the whole thing would go sideways. Now it looks like we may have the bill. The Democrats will say, all right, let's do $2,000 stimulus checks as an amendment. But now the Republicans are boxed in, because if the Republicans vote on it and pass it, they go against everything they stand for. And again, they might do that. They might do that if President Trump steps in. I want to be clear. President Trump hasn't. If President Trump picks up the phone and calls Republican senators and gets 40 to 60 votes and says, hey, you do this, I will help you get Republican control of the Senate. If the president spends next week making calls and getting enough Republican senators to support the $2,000 stimulus checks, he now becomes a president who got the $2,000 stimulus checks, and he says to them, you do this, I will help the two Republican incumbents in Georgia win. And if the $2,000 stimulus checks do happen and the Republican incumbents do win, then, you could call this a political master stroke from the president. Absolutely. If both of these things happen. However, It's going to be it's going to be quite a news cycle next week. It's going to be quite an eventful week next week to see if the Republicans actually get on board with this, because I haven't seen indications from Republicans saying, all right, let's do $2,000 stimulus check. So at the moment, I want to be clear. I would not be surprised if we hear any moment now that that the deal has been signed, because that would be nice. And like I said, as soon as the deal is signed, I'm drinking this Starbucks refresher. It's got coconut water in it. I thought it was more like something else. All right, I guess coconut water is good for you. But folks, that's what's going on, everybody. I actually, guys, I do have another interesting clip that I wanted to share with you while we are waiting for news from the president. Now, this clip, just so that our viewers and subscribers know, is from a Republican pollster. Okay, so there's a Republican pollster who said that if the president continues down this path, the president could end up costing Republicans control of the Senate. Because, guys, I know that our viewers and subscribers are interested in the $2,000 stimulus checks. I completely get that. I completely get that. But this is about the control of the United States Senate. And again, a Republican pollster actually said in an interview that the president could end up costing the Republicans the Senate if he did not sign the bill and if he remained dug into his position. Because there's a political calculation here, everybody. And again, the way out of this is if the people get the $2,000 stimulus checks, and if the president helps Republicans win Georgia, this could be quite a move. But if people don't get $2,000 stimulus checks and Republicans lose Georgia, then all of this backfires. All of this backfires. Gosh, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. In fact, I'd love to hear in the comment section below whether you think this sequence of moves is a good thing that the president did, or it's not a good thing. I mean, if you think this is genius, or if you think this is just unnecessary drama that could have been avoided had these negotiations done normally. You see, in a normal negotiation, you kind of let me know, comment below and let me know. But in a normal negotiation, you say, okay, I want this, and then we come to the table. But in an unusual negotiation, you come to a deal and then you blow up the deal at the last minute, and then you go through another round of negotiations. But the problem is, guys, in this deal, we have millions of our fellow Americans on the verge of homelessness, facing evictions. This this is something that states are struggling financially. Everybody, we have millions of our fellow Americans losing unemployment benefits altogether. So there's that. A lot of people simply said that this had to get done. But you know what? I do want to show you this video from this Republican pollster, everybody, who said that the president could cost Republicans control of the Senate. Let's take a look at this. I want to know what you folks think, everybody. So hold on.
Joining us now to analyze the media, the president, and the transition, Frank Luntz, the veteran Republican pollster. And Frank, with the death toll from coronavirus just going higher and higher, it's now about 330,000 Americans. What's your take on the whole year's coronavirus coverage by the media, which played it up? At times, President Trump played it down. Then we have the vaccines. What's been the impact on the credibility of the press?
It's horrible. It's horrible on the credibility of the politicians. It's been very damaging for the credibility of the press. Everyone has suffered. We did a study for the de Beaumont Foundation. And what we found is that there's still about a third of Americans that are nervous about this vaccine, and we need them to take it. And my frustration right now, as we end this year, is that the president is tweeting about an election that's over with, And instead, he should be tweeting about saving lives, about taking this vaccine. And ironically, Howie, the group that is most likely to not be eager to take the vaccine are young Republicans, Republicans under age 50. His own vote is listening to him, and they don't realize how important this is. They need to wake up. The Black community, the Latino community, the young Republican community, we need people to take the vaccine, and that's what the president should be talking about. And frankly, that's what the press should be talking about. Enough of the politics. Enough about what Trump is saying about the election. Focus on saving lives.
Right. But since you make that point, I mean, some of your friends on the right don't seem particularly perturbed about some of the extreme measures being talked about. The president hasn't embraced them, but he is still, as you say, tweeting and talking about a rigged election, calling Joe Biden a fake president yesterday. Can you imagine the conservative reaction if Barack Obama in 2012 lost the Electoral College and was having meetings talking about, you know, rerunning, using the military, for example, to rerun the election in certain states?
You're correct. Absolutely. And I'm not sure if they're going to be my friends. I know that it's having an impact on Fox. It's having an impact on Republicans in the House and the Senate. It feels like this president's trying to do as much damage as he can, not just to Mitch McConnell, but the Republicans in the House and in the Senate. And the press is glad to go along because it'll help in that final race of 2020 in Georgia. And I'm afraid, and I believe, that those two Republicans may well lose on the 5th of January because of what the president is doing right now. The media is helping him, and this should not be happening. That election should be waged separately from the ugliness that's happening here in Washington.
Well, what about the 6th of January, which is the day, and usually it's routine that Congress accepts formally the results of the Electoral College, and the president has talked about, and some of his allies have talked about having a Republican senator and House member from the same state challenging that, which would lead to a big congressional debate. Do you see a good chance of that happening? And if so, how does the press cover it?
Frankly, I do see it happening. I know the president's trying to make it happen. I know that there are House members who are going to help him make that happen. What they don't realize is the ramifications, is the consequences. And this is not the responsibility of the press to take sides. It is the responsibility of them to report what's happening accurately and in a balanced way. And to a great degree, they're doing that. But I want to emphasize the impact. If the Republicans lose that Senate race in Georgia, and again, this is not the responsibility of the press, you may have two new states, Puerto Rico and DC. You may have the packing of the court. You may have the repeal of the tax cuts. And the president is spending his time just upsetting as many people as he can, driving a wedge between those two Senate candidates and what will be this fundamental change in American democracy. And guys, just wake the hell up. And Howie, I know you care about numbers. The Republicans have never trusted the press less. The Democrats actually trust the press more. I'm watching among independents and floating voters, and their numbers for the press are falling with every successive month. The credibility of the press among independents who don't have a political bone in this, they're believing that the press is taking sides, and they're trying to encourage. Democratic win in the Senate in Georgia.
But since you have the courts and Bill Barr's Justice Department, he of course has just resigned, finding no evidence of widespread fraud despite the president repeatedly pressing these claims. The question I would ask is, you have, every poll shows that you have a majority of Republicans not believing the media in that this was a fair election. And a lot of people feel very strongly about this. So that suggests to me either that the media have failed or that the level of distrust is so great that conservatives
So, folks, I'll just repeat what I said earlier because I think you guys can hear me now. I'm sorry, I think you were not able to hear me. What I was saying is that I think this is a very divisive climate that we live in. It's really hard to really believe in what a lot of reporters are telling us. Honestly, I believe that certain conservative outlets are too conservative, too focused on one side, and liberal outlets are too liberal, too focused on one thing. I believe we need a sort of a middle ground, honestly. And honestly, that is why I started the Ignition Time channel. The Ignition Time channel is designed to give you the truth wherever it might lead us. And hopefully, the truth leads us to a position, to a place where we have good news. And I do believe we'll have good news tonight. A lot of drama, but we'll have good news tonight. The Ignition Time channel was created with the sole purpose of educating you about the country, the economy, and about your money. So on this channel, honestly, I don't care whether news comes from a conservative source or a liberal source. My goal, honestly, is to give you the real news wherever it might lead us. Because I have a lot of confidence in you, and I believe that you can handle the truth. While we are waiting for the president to make a formal announcement about his decision, and it does look like at the moment that he is going to sign it at the time I'm recording this video, contingent contingent on what is likely to be support or acknowledgement or maybe some sort of an assurance. Again, lawmakers can't really make an assurance, guys. Lawmakers can't make an assurance, but this could be the president's way of doing things. So let's just wait and see what happens. But let's get back to this Republican pollster and see what he had to say about the likelihood of about the current environment we live in right now with the news. Let's get back to it. Oh, just a moment. Let me come back here. Just a moment. Let's come back.
Maybe even you're saying independents are not going to believe much of what the press says.
It's both of those. And I'm trying to figure out how to fix it. Because in the end, regardless of whether you like or dislike their approach, in the end, our democracy depends on a media that is trusted, that has trust and confidence. It depends on that fourth estate holding people accountable. Howie, we need that. Whether or not we disagree with what the media writes or what they say, we need them to be honest brokers of this, and we need them to hold Republicans and Democrats accountable. And they are incapable of doing it. The president is just making a situation worse. We're ending this year with what I believe is not a constitutional crisis. It's a crisis of credibility. It's a crisis of confidence. And frankly, I don't know how to fix it.
Well, last point, I've got about half a minute. You talked about holding also Democrats accountable. What do you think about the way that Joe Biden is being covered so far? And if he is covered in a relatively easy way compared to Trump, doesn't that further convince people there's a double standard, a blatant double standard in the press?
Not only is that a fair point, it's an accurate point. It's a love fest that the Democrats are having the same trouble with their progressive wing that the Republicans are having with some Trump voters, but you don't hear about that. Or you hear about that when they're taking the side of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. And I'll make one final point. I am shocked.
Quickly.
Donald Trump has found support among Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren on this COVID relief package. That should waken up everybody that there's something wrong that's going on right now.
Very interesting comments actually from Frank Luntz, who's a Republican pollster. He basically said we not only have a constitutional crisis, we have a crisis of confidence. We simply don't know who to believe anymore. And again, I think what he pointed out was pretty fascinating, which is that President Trump essentially aligning with Bernie Sanders and even Josh Hawley, Republican senator from Missouri, who actually told the president to veto the stimulus bill if it did not include $1,200 stimulus checks. It just tells us that Congress is broken. The bickering, the partisanship is not conducive to a good solution. So folks, that is the update, everybody. We're still waiting for the president to provide us with an update. And in the meantime, if you folks have any questions or comments, I'm actually happy to address them. So I would love to be able to do that with you folks. I'll take a look at some comments and see if there are any specific questions I can answer. I do see some questions coming in asking about whether your unemployment benefits will continue. Yes, if the president signs the bill, your unemployment benefits will continue. But what's going to happen for next week? I'm talking about next week, the first, the week starting, this week, the 27th of December. Will you get those benefits or not, or will you be cut off from those benefits? Really depends on your state. If the president does indeed sign the bill tonight, can states find a way? Can states find a way to make sure that the benefits essentially never get turned off? Well, the problem is, if the president had signed this bill into law yesterday, again, if the president had signed this bill into law yesterday, then they would never have turned it off. But now, by law, they have to turn, by law, they turned off the PUA and the PEUC program. If the president had signed it yesterday, they would not have turned it off. It simply would have continued until the 14th of March, which, by the way, is 11 weeks from today. And the $300 a week would have started going out next week. Now, when the president signs it, it remains to be seen whether there'll be an actual loss of 1 week in unemployment benefits. But the short answer to your question is, if the president does indeed sign it, which he's projected to do, because the president basically said some good news is coming, then we'll see. Okay, guys, I have breaking news for you. All right, here we go. You ready? I have breaking news for everybody. I can now confirm, based on reporting from Jake Sherman from Politico, the president has signed the bill. Okay? All right. I can confirm that the president has indeed signed the bill, everybody. Here we go. There it is on your screen. The president has signed the bill. Okay, I'll tell you what, guys. Let's do this. According to Jake Sherman from Politico, I'm going to retweet this. Yeah, so there we go. Again, it looks like the president has signed the bill, everyone, which is fantastic news. So I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys let me know? Do I deserve? Let me show you this. Do I deserve to drink this now? If I get like 30 yeses, I'll drink it. Do I deserve this drink? No. Do I deserve this? And if you say yes, if I get 30 yeses, then I'll drink it, because I told you guys I wouldn't drink it. So I can confirm that the president has indeed signed the bill. Guys, give me. Should I drink it at one time? No, I'm not going to do that, because I'm going to make a fool of myself. But if you guys say that I can drink this, this is a Starbucks refresher, but I promised I would only drink it. But guys, listen, okay, here's the bottom line. Okay, let's get back to the tweet. We can confirm that the president of the United States has signed the bill. Oh, Lordy, I'm so relieved, everybody. I'm so relieved. I'm so happy. And okay, I'm so happy, guys. I can confirm. Let's wait for an official announcement from the president, because I would not be surprised. I can drink this, right? All right. Okay. So I will. I was so thirsty. Guys, I can confirm that the president has indeed signed the bill, and several sources have indicated to Politico that the bill has indeed been signed. Once again, applause for everybody. I appreciate you all. I actually want to wait. Honestly, I want to wait for an official announcement from the president. You know, I'll probably wait for like 5 minutes or so, and then let's see if the president does indeed issue an announcement. Now, I personally think that the president will issue an announcement, some sort of a video, right? I wouldn't be surprised if the president puts out a video saying, you know, I did this for the American people. I don't want, people. This is my gift to the American people, and I've received an assurance that the $2,000 stimulus checks will happen, so on and so forth. I would imagine that the president will put out a video along those lines with some other surprises, because, the president said some good news was coming. I would be a little surprised if all we get is a tweet saying the bill was signed and then silence. I would be a little surprised about that, because the whole country has been waiting. But guys, anything is possible with President Trump. And again, I can confirm to you that the president of the United States has signed the bill. Why don't I do this? Why don't I answer any questions from you folks? So let me take a look at questions that are coming in. Yeah, I agree. This is a relief, and yes, it is good. We look. Do we get 10 weeks or 11 weeks? Okay, now this is a fair question, everybody, and it's a good question. Do you get 10 weeks or do you get 11 weeks? Look, because the president signed it today. And by the way, we're still waiting for official confirmation from the president, but news reports have started saying that the president signed it. If the president had signed this yesterday, then I would have 100% said 11 weeks. But the problem is, because the president signed it today, there could be some states. I'll give you guys specific information as soon as I get it. But there could be some states that have a gap next week, or there could be some states that essentially maybe pay you the $300 extra the following week. It's really something that you'll have to talk to your state about. I don't think Congress will pass an amendment to extend the benefits by another week because of this 24-hour delay. I think that the federal government will simply say, make it so that the unemployment benefits never expired, and then the states will have to figure it out. Everybody, I do believe that's likely to happen. So if your question is, hey, will I get 11 weeks or will I get 10 weeks? The answer to that question is, you're going to have to talk to your state. And don't blame me, I'm the messenger. If the president had signed it yesterday, it would never have expired. But today, technically, the benefits have already expired since midnight last night, right? Technically, the benefits have already expired since midnight last night. And therefore, technically, they have to be restarted. But could the states, maybe, guys, I'm pretty sure that the state unemployment benefit systems are not sophisticated enough to automatically turn off unemployment on last night. So maybe when the state systems are going to be updated on Monday to reflect the fact that they are turned off, maybe they're like, we're not turning it off because they've been extended. So guys, talk to your state. I'm confident that we will see 11 weeks. But again, guys, because of the president's delay in signing this, you're gonna have to talk to your state about whether you get 10 weeks or 11 weeks of benefits, because that is where things stand. I can confirm that the president of the United States has indeed signed the bill, which is very encouraging news. And let's see. I believe there's a new announcement that is coming in. No, not right now. But again, I'll wait, guys. I'll give it a couple more minutes to see if the president issues an official announcement. Because to be honest, I'm super interested. In what the president is going to say, because I'm expecting a video from the president. But looks like we still don't have. Yeah, we still don't have official word. Okay, guys. So I'll tell you what. What I'll do is I will wait for another official announcement from the president that he has indeed signed the bill, because it looks like right now there is no official announcement. I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys tell me what you want? Because I'm here for you folks. Why don't you guys tell me? Should we let me know now? Should we wrap up the broadcast now? Do you want me to wrap up the broadcast now and come back when we get official word from the president? Because it sounds like this is a done deal, everybody. Okay, take a look at these tweets here. Or do you want me to keep going, hang tight with you guys, so we can so we can all savor the moment together? Do you guys all want to hang with me and savor the moment with me, so that we can just remember that we did this together? Or do you want me to wrap up the broadcast and come back as soon as we hear from the President of the United States? Because I'm pretty sure we will. Let's see. I am getting some other information coming in, everybody. Let me know in the comments section below, guys, whether you want me to hang. You want me to hang here? You want me to hang with you? I'll hang with you. Yeah, he already signed it. For the 1% who think, he's not going to sign it. He signed it. He signed it. Okay, so you guys want me to hang with you? Sure, I'll hang with you. I'm happy. I'm happy to hang with you. You guys are like my family, so cool. I'll hang with you. I don't know if you guys heard the screaming kids upstairs, but there are screaming kids here. All right, so guys, let me see. I do believe some more information is coming in as we speak. Okay. All right. Information from Josh Dorsey. Okay. Josh Dorsey is a White House reporter for the Washington Post. And I can confirm, here's a tweet from Josh Dorsey on your screen. President Trump signed the COVID bill about 15 minutes ago after days of criticizing it. Cheers, everybody. President Trump signed the bill about 15 minutes ago after days of criticizing it. Oh, you guys have no idea how relieved I am. And here's why I'm relieved. And I'm going to speak from the heart here, okay? Because, video doesn't hide anything. I know what it's like to be poor. I know what it's like to be homeless. And now I live the American dream. Honestly, I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. So I want all of our fellow Americans, I want everyone to experience the American dream. And I do believe that this horrific situation, once we get past it, once we get through this crisis, I think all of us can look back and say, what can I do to live that dream? And to be completely honest with you, I want people who need help the most to get it. So will there be people who get the $600 stimulus check who are going to use it to, I don't know, do stuff that, is this $600 check going to go to people who didn't need it? Of course, there's always going to be waste in any system. Okay. But the right thing to do would be to sign it, get help out to those who need it, and then live to fight another day and then do more legislation. I mean, that's what Congress is for. Let's put these congressmen and congresswomen to work. Again, Josh Dorsey from the Washington Post confirmed that the president signed the stimulus deal about 15 minutes ago. And Jake Sherman from Politico has also confirmed that. So at the moment, we're just waiting for the president to sign it. And guys, I want to be clear again that this has been a very painful, a very horrific situation. And I never got a stimulus check because, my income is above a certain threshold. So unfortunately, we have a situation here where a lot of our fellow Americans are left hanging. A lot of our fellow Americans are just in a very tough situation and are dependent and are desperate for this money because, there are individuals who have to put food on the table, who have to keep the lights on, who have to make rent. And, there are individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality who've lost their job permanently. And Congress, after months and months and months and months of inaction, finally came to some sort of a consensus about this. So that was a good thing. And then the president was supposed to sign it. The president was supposed to sign this. In fact, I want to show you folks something. There were preparations in Mar-a-Lago for the president to actually sign the bill. Okay, I just want to be clear. There were preparations in Mar-a-Lago for the president to sign the bill, and you'll see this. Let me show you folks this tweet on your screen. This is from Kristen Wilson, right? And Kristen Wilson covers Capitol Hill for CNN, right? And she reported, and this came from, Kevin Liptak, who's a CNN White House reporter, and Kate Bennett, who's a CNN correspondent, that the president was going to sign this package on the 24th of December. Guys, that's like 3 days ago, right? The 24th of December is right before Christmas, right? It's Christmas Eve on Thursday. The president was supposed to sign it on Thursday, everybody. And it was supposed to be a gift to the American people. Let's get back to this. It was supposed to be a gift to the American people. But guess what? There was supposed to be a 7 p.m. signing. The desk was ready. The pens were ready, all in the Mar-a-Lago ballroom. And the president changed the plans at the last minute. And according to the source, the POTUS, President of the United States, changed his mind. And look, I know many of us are celebrating right now, and look, there is reason to celebrate, but all of this drama, we shouldn't have been put through all of the drama, guys. If you agree, let me know in the comment section below. Do you agree that we should not have been put through all of this drama? Type out agree in the comment section below. If you agree with me, we should not have been put through all of this incredible, unnecessary drama. Do you agree? Just say yes or agree or something, because this is just it's just unnecessary. It's too much anguish. There will be an analysis of this situation. There will be a breakdown of, the art of the deal. President Trump. Guys, what happens is the supporters of the president will never see any fault with what he does, and the detractors of the president will always see faults with what the president does. So this is a very complex situation, and honestly, it's very hard for someone like me to even cover this. But guys, look, I want to be as clear as I can, okay? If people end up getting $2,000 stimulus checks and Republicans end up gaining control of the Senate, retaining control of the Senate, because they already have control of the Senate, they'll retain it with these Republican Senate seats. They just need to win one out of the two seats, guys. They need to win one out of the two seats. If people get $2,000 stimulus checks, again, our channel is about the country, economy, and money. If people get $2,000 stimulus checks and Republicans retain control of the Senate for President Trump, but if we don't see $2,000 stimulus checks, which is entirely dependent on the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, well, not entirely. It is largely dependent on him, because he needs to bring the whole thing for a vote on the floor of the Senate. If he brings it for a vote on the floor of the Senate, but then Republicans say like, nah, I'm not going to vote for $2,000 stimulus checks. And if Republicans lose control of the Senate, then all this backfires. So do you guys want to ask me what I think will happen? I don't know. I don't know. Well, here's something I do know. What is the date today? Today is the 27th of December. Okay? A week from Tuesday, the 5th of January, is when the Georgia Senate runoff races are. And then on the 6th of January, which is a Wednesday, is when Congress meets to certify the results of the election, right? Remember, in January of 2017, in January of 2017, Vice President at that time, Joe Biden, who's now President-elect Joe Biden, announced that President Trump had gotten the Electoral College votes to become president. This actually happened in January 2017. Now, on the 6th of January 2021, Vice President Mike Pence is supposed to announce that Vice President / President-elect Joe Biden is going to be the next president of the United States. So my answer to everybody asking is, ask me on the 6th of January. I just don't want chaos. I don't want problems. And I want all of us to get back to a normal life. I want a normal, boring 2021. That's what I want, guys. Let me know. Let me know in the comments section below if you guys agree with the fact that we should have a normal and boring 2021. So guys, let's. I'm still gonna wait and see if we have any information that has come out from the president. Let's see. Yep. We actually have a tweet from Joe Biden that came up, President-elect Joe Biden, that came out a minute ago. But yeah, guys, at the moment, I'm hanging with you guys, waiting for an official announcement from President Trump. And as soon as that announcement comes in, we'll check it out together. In the meantime, I'm going to check out some of the comments. Let me get to some of the comments from you guys, and then we'll go from there. So let's see. Boring is good, right? Tell me about it. So Sharon Erdolano asks, why isn't anybody else reporting this? Why? Because you heard it here first on Ignition Time. That's why. Agree, normal life. Jared, you got it, my man. I do want a normal life, right? That would be interesting. A normal, boring life would be interesting. Showing in CNN that he signed it. All right, you know what? I actually, we can go to CNN right now. Let me go to CNN real quick, and I'm gonna grab a live feed, and I'm gonna take a look at what's going on. I'm actually hanging with you guys because you wanted me to. I'm actually waiting for an official announcement from the president. I actually have dinner waiting upstairs, but I'm hanging with you guys because A, I want to savor this moment with you all. B, I'm actually honestly waiting for President Trump to say what I guess he's going to say, because President Trump has to address this with his supporters. President Trump cannot leave this whole situation hanging. He has to position this in a way that 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 his supporters want to hear. I'm sure his supporters will be like, "Wait a minute, you said something else and now you did this. What's going on?" So President Trump needs to come up with a reason. My guess is that President Trump was recording a video, because my guess is President Trump signed the bill and then recorded a video, and and then we'll see that video shortly. This is my guess. We may end up just seeing a tweet, but I don't think we're going to have like zip. I don't think we're going to have nothing. That's what I think. So let's actually take a look at what's going on other news stations. I'll take a look and I'll let you know what's going on other news stations as well. But again, guys, I am here for you and I'm happy to be a part of this moment with you. Is it a historic moment? I guess. Is it an unnecessary and dramatic and tension-filled moment? Yes. I don't know if it's historic. I don't see anything historic about getting $600 checks and more unemployment, because I think we need to be in a position where we don't even need these things to begin with, right? But guess what? I'm here to help you guys make sense of all this craziness. We'll take a quick look at what's happening on other stations, because someone just told me this was reported on CNN, and then I'll we'll go to a live feed and I'll show you guys what's going on. I just want you to know, guys, that I greatly appreciate you all. So I want you to know again that that you are greatly appreciated. Let's take a look and let me show you what's going on CNN. Okay, it's confirmed. Let me get the volume going here.
The government running with a spending bill. Jeremy Diamond is traveling with the president in West Palm Beach, Florida. So, Jeremy, what's the latest?
Well, Dana, we now have official word from the White House that President Trump has indeed signed that massive spending bill that includes $900 billion of coronavirus relief, 5 days after the president called the legislation a disgrace and appeared to threaten to veto that legislation. The president is now explaining in a lengthy statement why he waited 5 days and ultimately decided to sign this piece of legislation. And earlier, Dana, we were speculating that the president may have secured a commitment from the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to bring that standalone bill to increase those stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000. That appears to have happened. The president saying in the statement that the Senate will, quote, start the process for a vote that increases checks to $2,000. And he also says that the Senate will also consider legislation to repeal Section 230, which is those protections for those big social media companies that the president has been talking about, and also investigations into voter fraud. We don't know whether any of those things will ultimately happen beyond the first one, which seems to be the most substantial and actual tangible one, because we know that there is a piece of legislation in the House that could work its way quite easily to the Senate. Whether that actually passes is another matter. And the president also says that he's going to sign this legislation, but send a message to Congress that he still opposes a number of the funding provisions in that omnibus spending bill, which we know that the president was railing against in that video message that he posted on Twitter last Tuesday. The problem, of course, Dana, is that many of those items, in fact, nearly all of them, were actually in the president's budget request to Congress, the annual budget request to Congress that the president submits. And ultimately, Dana, the president is going to try and sell this as a win. But what the president did here was needlessly deepen millions of Americans into financial uncertainty over the holiday season. The president could have raised this issue of the stimulus checks before Congress passed this. The problem, Dana, is that before Congress passed this, the president was completely checked out from the business of governing this country. And it was only after this legislation passed that the president decided to finally check in and make this demand for the stimulus bill. And the only result that we have actually seen tangibly, 12 million plus Americans lost their unemployment benefits this weekend because of the president's delay, and millions more Americans saw this uncertainty of whether or not they would actually receive that $600 check this coming week. Dana?
Yeah, and let's be clear. You're right. Of course, he's trying to spin it as a win. It is a win for the people who are finally going to get the relief that you just talked about. It might not be everything that they want. It might not be everything that either the president or the Democrats want. Politically speaking, just on the raw politics of it, it could have been a win for the president had he come out and said, I know that my Treasury Secretary negotiated this and other members of my team, and, we're going to take what we can get, and it's great for people in America. But he didn't. He muddied it. He bashed it. He attacked it for days. And now he's saying that the win is that he's going to get the House to vote on something that is something that he supports. And it's the Democratic-led House, which, of course, has passed bigger bills that include this $2,000, at least more than $2,000. So I think that those reality checks are quite important now.
There is still no guarantee, of course, that the Senate will actually pass this bill. Remember, it was because most Republicans were opposed to $2,000 checks that it wasn't included in the legislation. And so the idea that it's just, we're living in a very strange world, Dana.
We have been for quite some time, especially you, my friend. Thank you so much, Jeremy. I appreciate it. I want to now go to CNN politics reporter and editor-at-large Chris Cillizza.
So guys, that was, let me shut the audio here. So guys, that was the news. This has now been confirmed, everybody. Guys, this has now been confirmed from CNN, and now other news sources are starting to report it. Remember that you heard it here first. I was the one that broke the news first on Ignition Time. I'm pretty sure the president will make an announcement shortly as well. But guess what? This has now been confirmed, everybody. You heard it here first on Ignition Time that President Trump has signed the $900 billion bill. I'm going to leave you with one thought. I know the president is going to send out a message, and I'll cover that message later. But I'm going to leave you all with one very important thought, everybody. I want you to know that in the end, this is politics, this is human psychology, and this is opportunity for elected officials. Should they be doing this? No. Are they doing this? Yes. Is this likely to change in the future? Probably not. Probably not. I think that we need to work our way towards becoming financially independent. There is more news, by the way. Some more news has just come in. Let me actually retrieve that news. We do have a letter, everybody, from the White House. This is what I was waiting for. I will read you all a letter from the White House, from the Office of the Press Secretary, that was just announced. And I actually have been waiting for this. Okay, so let's see this, everybody. Okay, so let me make sure I have it lined up here. I will read it out for everybody. Guys, if you appreciate this real-time breaking news coverage, do me a favor, give me a like. Please subscribe. Let me just adjust this properly. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. I would greatly appreciate that. Let's see the official announcement from the president. As President of the United States, it is my responsibility to protect the people of our country from the economic devastation and hardship that was caused by the China virus. I understand that many small businesses have been forced to close as a result of harsh actions by Democrat-run states. Many people are back to work, but my job is not done until everyone is back to work. Fortunately, as a result of my work with Congress in passing the CARES Act earlier this year, we avoided another Great Depression. Under my leadership, Project Warp Speed has been a tremendous success. My administration and I developed a vaccine many years ahead of wildest expectations, and we are distributing these vaccines and others soon, coming to millions of people. As president, I have told Congress that I want far less wasteful spending and more money going to the American people in the form of $2,000 checks per adult and $600 per child. I think the president yesterday said $2,000 checks per adult and $2,000 per child, but I thought that's what I heard. That was my interpretation. As president, I'm demanding many rescissions under the Impoundment Control Act of 1974. The act provides that whenever the president determines that all or part of any budget authority will not be required to carry out the full objectives or scope of programs for which it is provided, or that such budget authority should be rescinded for fiscal policy or other reasons, including termination of authorized projects or activities for which budget authority has been provided. In other words, if there is wasteful spending, the president shall transmit to both houses of Congress a special message describing the amount to be reserved, the relevant accounts, the reason for the rescission, and the economic effects of the rescission. In other words, the president is basically saying, I'm not going to let you spend money on certain things. That's basically what the president is saying. So let's look at page 2. Okay, let's now scroll down here. I will sign the, let me see, I want to make sure you folks can see this properly. Just going to confirm you folks can see it, and then, yeah, there we go. All right, perfect. Yep. So let's get back to that screen, everybody. Okay, I will sign the Omnibus and COVID package with a strong message that makes clear to Congress that wasteful items need to be removed. So the president is saying, yo, I'm going to sign it, but don't waste money. That's what the president said. Wasteful items need to be removed. I will send back to Congress a redlined version, item by item. So the president is going to make notes on the bill, and the president is signing the bill, taking another version. So hopefully there's a printer in Mar-a-Lago that can print 5,600 pages. Because remember, in Congress, the printer's jammed up. I'm sure, I'm hoping the president has a printer with lots of ink, because the president is going to send back another version with red ink, with red markings, okay? I will send back to Congress a red line version, item by item, accompanied by the formal rescission request to Congress, insisting that those funds be removed from the bill. So, president is saying, the president 48 hours ago said, send me a revised bill, $2,000 checks. Now the president says, okay, I'll sign it, but I'll mark the items in red that I don't like, and I issue, you know, a rescission notice to you folks, so that you folks can essentially go back and make the necessary amendments. So he said, I'm signing this bill to restore unemployment benefits, stop evictions. Okay. So now, by the way, the president is talking about what Congress essentially came up with, right? So the president is saying, I am signing this bill to restore unemployment benefits, stop evictions, provide rental assistance, add money for the Paycheck Protection Program, return our airline workers back to work, add substantially more money for vaccine distribution, and much more. On Monday, that's tomorrow, the House will vote to increase payments from 600. Now, we know this. By the way, I did cover this political analysis at the start of this video. In case you missed it, I'll give you the political analysis right now, okay? For the Democrats, this is a win-win situation. They say, okay, let's do it, President. Let's do it, Mr. President. Let's sign the $2,000 stimulus checks. And now they get to say that the House passed it first. The president also is in a pretty interesting situation. Heads you win, tails you don't lose. If the president can get $2,000 stimulus checks, and if the president can get the Republicans to win, to retain control of the Senate in Georgia, then this will end up going down as a master stroke. But the flip side of it is, if the $2,000 stimulus checks don't happen, And by the way, I do believe that that is going to be related to what happens in Georgia. And if the Republicans lose control of the Senate in Georgia, in other words, if Democrats win both seats in Georgia, then the whole thing will backfire. And the person in sort of the most difficult situation right now is the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, because the Senate Majority Leader is now in a situation where he now has to bring this thing to the floor of the Senate for a vote, and then either the president will make many phone calls and say, you guys need to vote on this, or he told the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, you figure it out. So this puts the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell in a pretty complex situation, everybody. On Monday, the House will vote to increase payments, which is tomorrow. Therefore, a family of 4 will receive $5,200. Hold on. Therefore, a family of 4 will receive. Oh, okay. All right. So what the president is saying, is that the House will vote to guys. Now this can get confusing really quick. The president is saying the House will vote to increase payments from $600 to $2,000. But remember this, that it has to be passed by the Senate and then signed into law by the president. So when the president of the United States says, therefore, a family of 4 would receive $5,200, the reason the president is saying that is he's saying, $2,000 for, let's say, 2 for each spouse, so that's $4,000, plus $600 for 2 children, $5,200. But look, guys, let's add an addendum here. A family of 4 will receive $5,200. We're talking, 2 spouses and 2 children. If the House passes the bill, which is going to happen tomorrow. By the way, don't fall for headlines tomorrow saying $2,000 approved. That's nonsense. The truth is, if the House passes the bill and the Senate passes the bill, because the president's ready to sign it. So the question here is, will the Senate pass the bill? So I'm surprised that the president wrote a family of 4 would receive $5,200, because the Senate Republicans will decide whether that happens. And this is the thing that's not in this letter. This is the thing that a lot of channels will take advantage of and will give people false hope. You will never get false hope on my channel. I don't want to give you false hope. I want to give you the truth wherever the truth might lead us. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. So please, this channel, I want our viewers and subscribers to know that this channel, the Ignition Time channel, this is about the country. This is about the economy, and this is about your money. The way the country works, the way our system works, is that first a bill has to go through the House and be debated in and passed by the House. The country and the economy and your money works that way. Then that bill has to be debated on in the Senate and passed by the Senate, and then that goes to the president's desk for signing. So let's get back to the president's letter. Additionally, Congress, so let's get back to this section right here. Therefore, a family of 4 would receive $5,200 only if the House and the Senate pass it. If the president can get the Senate to pass this, one more time. If the president cannot get the Senate to pass this, if the president and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell cannot get the Senate to pass $2,000 stimulus checks, I want to be as clear as I can, everybody. If the president and the Senate Majority Leader cannot get the Senate Republicans to pass $2,000 stimulus checks, a family of 4, unfortunately, will not get $5,200. So I want to be super clear about that, everybody. Additionally, Congress has promised that Section 230, which so unfairly benefits big tech at the expense of American people, will be reviewed and either be terminated or substantially reformed. Look at the words here, guys. Congress has promised. Okay, what is the value of a promise from Congress? I actually want to look at the comments here. What is the value of a promise from Congress? Guys, type out in the comment section, what is the value of a promise from Congress? Anybody with me? So the president has already signed the bill, everybody. Okay, the value of a promise in Congress is zip, because Congress could promise something, but Congress may not do it, because the House and the Senate have to see eye to eye. They have to come together and be aligned. There you go. Oscar Ortega responded. So yeah, again, what is the value of a promise in Congress. So it's interesting, the president's language that Congress has promised that Section 230, which so unfairly benefits big tech at the expense of the American people, will be reviewed. Likewise, and this is the important thing, guys, likewise, the House and the Senate have agreed to focus strongly on the very substantial voter fraud which took place in the November 3rd election. So that is, that is the president's, that is what the president has continued to assert. The Senate will start the process for a vote that increases checks to $2,000, repeal Section 230, and start an investigation into voter fraud. So the president got the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to do three things. The president apparently got the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to start the process for a vote that increases checks for $2,000. By the way, start the process for a vote that increases checks for $2,000 does not mean that there will be a vote on the floor of the Senate. Does not mean that Republican senators will support $2,000 stimulus checks. Does not mean we will see $2,000 stimulus checks. Would I like to see our fellow Americans get $2,000 stimulus checks? Yes, but I'm trying to give you guys the reality here. The Ignition Time channel is about the truth, wherever the truth might lead us. It's not about false hope. It's not about hype. It's not about wrong information. It is about giving our community the truth, and that is what you have come to expect from me. So the Senate will start the process for a vote that increases checks to $2,000, repeals Section 230, and starts an investigation of voter fraud. Big tech must not get protections of Section 230. Voter fraud must be fixed. Much more money is coming. I will never give up my fight for the American people. Now, here's the interesting thing. The interesting thing is, by the way, there's a tweet from Senator Lindsey Graham, who just said, let me actually show you the tweet, everybody, from Senator Lindsey Graham. I'm going to put it up. Senator Lindsey Graham just said that Congress will vote. In fact, here, let me show you the tweet from Senator Lindsey Graham. He just said Congress will vote on additional stimulus checks and repealing Section 230, all wins for the American people and the president, right? Well done, Mr. President. Now, Lindsey Graham is a supporter of the president. But guys, here's something interesting that nobody's going to talk about because nobody has actually thought that far ahead. You're on my channel because, we try and think far ahead. When President-elect Biden passes the next large stimulus, and there is likely to be large stimulus if the Democrats regain control of the Senate, which is why the Georgia Senate runoff races a week from Tuesday are so important. If President-elect Joe Biden passes a large stimulus, who do you think will take credit for those large stimulus checks at that moment in time? Who do you think will try to take credit for those stimulus checks at that moment in time? And therein lies the game. The Ignition Time channel is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. I will always be here for you. I will always work hard for you. I have a message for you. The message for you is this: hang with me, subscribe to the channel, click the like button, click more. You'll do yourself a huge favor if you click the subscribe button, because I will teach you how to be a millionaire. I will teach you how to make more money. I will teach you how to save more money, and I will teach you how to invest more money. I will help you escape the cycle of poverty. I will help you live a life of your dreams. And I will help you never to be dependent on the government again. I appreciate you. I will always be with you. Please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. And remember, when you learn how to make money, how to save money, how to invest money, which is what I will teach you on the channel, because I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. When you learn how to do those things, you will never be dependent on the government again. You will never be dependent on, you will never have to take sides, Republicans, Democrats. You won't have to take sides because you'll be relaxing, you'll be making money. You guys, I'm not exaggerating. You'll be driving a nice car, you'll be living in a nice house, you'll be vacationing on a VIP beach with people bringing you your drinks, and you'll be relaxing while others fight it out. And I want you to create jobs. I want you to be successful. I want you to make a lot of money. I want you to be fit. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be motivated. And that's what you'll get on this channel. Please click subscribe. Please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. And guys, cheers to you. This is a done deal for now. But the fight is ongoing. I will always fight the good fight for you. I will always tell you the truth wherever that might lead us. I appreciate you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I want you to know that you are greatly appreciated. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. We work very hard on this channel to bring you important information that's impacting the country, the economy, and your money. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video right here. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. And that is your way of essentially telling YouTube that you find our content useful. Now, you can get on our SMS alerts mailing list. Simply get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000, that's 70000. You'll get added to SMS alerts list. You can opt out of the SMS alerts at any point in time going forward. We'll send you breaking news and alerts, important information about the country, about the economy, and about our money. I want our viewers and subscribers to know that for me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. For us, it's all about trying to understand how the country works so that we can make sense of this unusual, this bizarre world that we live in. You can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. And then you can get on our email list. Now, you can opt out of the email list or the text message list at any point in time that you want. Keep in mind that YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. So all I want you to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to visit the homepage of our channel and check out our videos at any point in time that you want. So I think you'll find that extremely valuable. One of the things that I'm extremely proud of is our community. Our community is very intelligent, very respectful, it's bipartisan, it's growing rapidly. So please comment below and engage with our community. You might make some new friends in our community. Also, if you find this video helpful, please share it with just 2 friends or family members. My only request is share this video with 2 friends or family members. By the way, speaking of subscribe, if you click on the little subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner here, you'll be able to, you simply click twice and you'll be able to get subscribed to our channel. So you'll be able to get instant alerts from YouTube moving forward. Now, also, this is important. If you want to learn more about the resources that we use in our videos, simply check out the description section of our videos. We mention our resources in every video in the description section, so definitely make sure you check out the links in the description section below. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please click like, please subscribe, please ignite that like button because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. I really appreciate you watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.